Intelligence. So today, after a wonderful breakfast, we started walking and walking, and the sun was shining. And you probably know the road. We just went up a little road, and there was only one car in about the hour and a half that we were walking, and that's just coming from New York City. That was quite astounding. But along the way, there were a lot of birds. I think they were crows, but what really took my love were all the sheep. And there were so many of them. And there were many babies, and there were many, I guess, really fat ones that you're going to take the wool off soon, right? Because they kind of waddle and they're almost round. And then there's little ones chasing after their mothers to nurse, and there's ones lying in the grass loving the sun. But I think what caught my attention, besides the yellow buttercups and all the flowers and all the green, were the sounds of the sheep. And I thought it was Bob, but my husband says it's Ma. Ma! Ma, right? It's not Bob, that's goats, and Ma are sheep. But we're very, very happy and blessed to be here. I don't know that much about Wales at all, and I told Andrea I have to look at a map because we're south-central Wales.
We're mid-south, yeah.
Mid-south Wales. But I know you have another language here, and I got Alice to say a few things when she was in Los Angeles, but it's not a language that's used all over the world, right? Mostly just in Wales. How many of you know the language here? But don't you learn it in the school? Oh, that's okay. It's what we decide. And it's called self-discipline. But self-discipline is really broken down. It means disciple of self. So who is this self with the big S? It's your relationship to God, or whoever you call God to be. Creative force of the universe, divine mother. It doesn't matter the name. But throughout all the years I've lived this life, I realized that the only way to happiness is through your heart. You can't get there any other way. The heart is the way, because the heart brings about kindness. How many ever heard of John O'Donoghue? He was an Irishman. I don't know what Wales people have with the Irish. I can't get track of everyone all over the country, all over the world, who likes who and all of that. We travel to Israel, and then I have to keep Israel and, Lebanon, all that. To me, it's all one. And that's what the Sikh faith is, that there's one God who created this creation, and truth is his name. Whatever you call that creator to be, somebody brought us into this world. Somebody keeps us breathing all night long. Someone keeps our heart beating. And someone birthed us. Someone divided those cells so we could sit here today. And without a relationship with something bigger than your intellect, in my experience, I can only speak from my experience, you can't find the happiness. You cannot find your true happiness without a relationship. And that's for every single person to find out, but their relationship to this divine, whatever you call it, that brought you. And John O'Donoghue talks so much about you've been chosen. I love those words. You've been chosen to be here. And if you weren't chosen to do a specific thing on this earth, then somebody else would have come. But that other person didn't come. You came. And 7 billion people on this planet, and you were chosen to do something specific to help while you're here on this earth. And it's all written inside of you. Now you may find a clue in a book, or an author, or a prayer, or a church, or a synagogue, or walking in nature. But it will only reveal what's already inside of you. And it's such a mystery, but it's such a divine mystery, that when you find your place, like if you're the head of a school, or if you're a teacher, or if you're a mother, whatever it is, you find it. You know what? It feels right. That's the sign that you know it's the truth. It feels right. the gong. It feels right. And sometimes it takes us many years to find what feels right. It might be connecting all the dots, all our life, our struggles, our hardships, our ups and downs, so much to finally land. Oh, this is what feels right. And every single thing that happened in my life, I can only say thank you, because I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone through all that, and you wouldn't be. I was in New York for 10 days teaching a prenatal teacher's training. We call it the Kosa Way. We had about 45 women from all over the world. And they asked, in studying the practice and the asanas, the yoga, how did you start doing this? How did you start 30 years ago? And so I started telling my life story, and I hadn't planned to. But I had about an hour and a half time. And as I told it, I revealed to myself how I got to be sitting here. It was like connecting dots all along the way, from the earliest time that I was a child to collecting Christmas cards of Mother Mary and Jesus, to having scrapbooks full of them, to collecting rocks and shells, to doing circuses with the children, to planning birthday parties for the children, to wanting to have people come together and find happiness and celebration. But I didn't know that I'd be sitting here at 70 years old. But when you all connect the dots in your lives, you'll see all the blessings, even in the hardest times, even the times you wanted to give up, or you were at death's door, or even suicidal, or even addicted to a drug or a substance, and how you're sitting here today. It's pretty amazing. So when I got done, this very wise woman who's part of our group in New York City, she said, you know why you said all that at the age of 70? I said, no. And she said, because at the age of 70, on a spiritual path, it's the time when one examines their lives. Because when my birthday came in February, I thought, this is such a no birthday. 60, wow, you made it. 80, whoa. But 70 was just kind of benign to me. I couldn't even get my spirit around it. It didn't seem like very attentive. And she said, when you're 70, you look at your life, and it either kind of depresses you, and you think you've really lost out, or you bow to the blessings of it. And does that mean you can't reverse it at 70? You still can. But I see most of you aren't of that age yet. So take the time to just look at your dots. And know that you're sitting here. Spirit called you here. Andrea might have twisted your leg to get you here. But still, you came because you were longing for something. Maybe you call it curiosity. Maybe your leg hurts. Maybe you get migraine headaches. Maybe you're just curious. But you came. And those are the signs that your soul brought you. Because this is a science. It's not a cult. It's not a religion. It's a science. And this science has proven itself for maybe up to 40,000 years. It's proven itself to make you more healthy and more happy and more whole. I'd like to just read something from John O'Donohue. He was Irish. He was a priest. So if you close your eyes and just listen to this for a minute. It's called Meditation on Kindness. Despite all the darkness, human hope is based on the instinct that at the deepest level of reality, some intimate kindness holds. This is the heart of blessing. To believe in blessing is to believe that our being here, our very presence in the world, is itself the first gift, the primal blessing. As Wilkie says, to be here is immense. Nowhere does the silence of the infinite lean so intensely as around the form of a newly born infant. Once we arrive, we enter into the inheritance of everything that has preceded us. We become heirs to the world. To be born is to be chosen. To be created and come to birth is to be blessed. Some primal kindness chose us and brought us to the forest of dreaming until we could emerge into the clearance of individuality with a path of life opening before us through the world. Everybody else will join us best you can 2 times thereafter. Please inhale deeply. Om.